The question is that the bill be now read the third time. There's very little time left. Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper.
Madam Deputy Speaker, it's like astonishing. The Home Secretary actually talked about a coalition of chaos. We can see it in front of us as we speak. Look, I understand the Minister, they do have concerns. The government does have concerns. When they face issues where you've got a selfish minority wreaking havoc, you've got someone who's resisting all attempts by the powers that be to remove them, causing serious disruption, disorder, chaos, with serious consequences for the public, for businesses, for politics and for financial markets. But they've glued themselves under the desk. With honourable members opposite, we wish them luck with their attempts to extricate another failing Tory Prime Minister from number 10, but I suggest it isn't a reason to change the law for everyone else. This is the second public order bill in the space of 6 months. The government could have got through a victims bill by now. They chose not to. They could have put more time into action on violence against women and girls. They chose not to. Instead, they're repeating the same debates we've had already. The Home Secretary referred to acts of violence and blocking roads. They are rightly already crimes. They are rightly already offences. In fact, this Conservative government has put fewer thugs and criminals behind bars because prosecutions for violent crime have plummeted on their watch. Antisocial behaviour action in many areas has totally collapsed. We have seen, Madam Deputy Speaker, certain protests recently that have angered all of us. Defacing works of art is a total disgrace. Blocking roads so that you prevent ambulances getting through is appalling. Both of those are rightly against the law already, and we've seen people rightly arrested and charged for criminal damage and for blocking highways. We support the action of Transport for London to take out injunctions. That is why we have argued from the start about making it smoother for organisations to take injunction action. But we've also seen today members from all sides of this House stand up for the principles of peaceful protest in the face of the truly appalling images we've seen from outside the Chinese consulate in Manchester, including a serious assault which put one protester into hospital. Parliament has to stand up for the peaceful rights. As the Foreign Office Minister rightly said earlier today, peaceful protest is a fundamental part of British society, and in our country everyone has the right to express their views peacefully. That is why we have to make sure that when we legislate in these areas, we do so with care, because in a democracy people need the freedom to speak out against authority and make their views heard, and we should have protection and safeguards against serious disruption to essential services. That's why we put forward measures. That's why we've supported buffer zones around abortion clinics. It's why we put forward measures in the previous bills around vaccine clinics and making sure that people could not be targeted by harassment and intimidation. And my honourable friends have talked about the existing legislation that is already in place. The measures in this bill will not tackle that, but what instead they do is mean that a police inspector will have the power to stop and search anyone in the vicinity of a protest, regardless of whether they suspect them of being involved in committing a criminal offence. It could mean people being stopped and searched in Parliament Square, frankly, pretty much any day of the week when there are protests taking place. The Home Secretary herself says she sees herself as a champion of freedom of speech and freedom of expression. She said, freedom of speech must be protected. Turns out not if it's too noisy. Speaking is fine. Speaking too loudly could be a criminal offence. She says being offended goes hand in hand with free speech, but she's made it an offence to be seriously annoying. Defend offence, but not annoyance. It's totally illogical.
Order. Under the order of the House today, I must now put the question on third reading. The question is that the bill be now read the third time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. No.